Hello, I'm Winnie from vintageheirloom.com, and today in this video we're going to look at a good example of a super fake Chanel bag. Unfortunately, very well made or super fake Chanel bags do exist. This video can't possibly go through all the hundreds of permutations that professional authenticators look for, but it will give you a solid understanding of what to look for when considering buying a Chanel bag. So let's have a look at this bag. This is a really lovely vintage Chanel bag, and it's a nice classic style that our customers like. It's very sought after, and it's a style I would consider buying for our website. And what's lovely about this bag, it came with an original box, which is really unusual for vintage items. On first impressions, this bag is constructed in genuine lambskin leather. Now, how do I know this? Because it feels soft and supple, and it has that buttery sheen that lambskin is known for. It smells like leather, and what's nice about this bag, it's beautifully quilted. If we look closely, this bag has a nice high stitch count, which gives it a nice flat texture. Often on fake bags there's a low stitch count and the quilting looks puffy or raised in appearance. So this bag has a nice flat texture. The hardware feels good, looks good, and it feels heavy and cold to the touch, and I think it could even be gilded in 24 karat gold. So let's look closely at the chain strap. On authentic models, the interlacing, if you look closely, is triple folded down with no machine stitching. You can actually see the fold line here. And this has been intricately, by hand, intertwined into the chain strap. Now, if we look at the super fake version, if you look closely, you can actually see there is a machine stitching along the butt edge, which is incorrect. So that was the first warning sign that this could not be a real bag. Now, the only time Chanel do machine stitch down the interlacing on the leather is on the Chanel vintage jumbo flat bags, where the leather has been folded 4 times and there is a machine stitch along the butt edge. Now, continuing my research on this bag, what made me quite suspicious of this bag was actually serial sticker inside the bag. So let's have a look. Now, if you look closely, the numbers appear smudged. And now this is supposed to be a 1 series bag, i.e. it's a 7-digit code beginning with 1. Now, on the sort of style of stickers, the 1 should appear serif, like on this authentic model. The numbers are lasered in the middle on a horseshoe shaped sticker, and the 1 should be serif, i.e. with feet. Now, if you compare this with the fake version, the 1 is sans serif without feet. Now, this bag did come with an authenticity card. Now, authentic Chanel authenticity card, actually the card feels like thin plastic, a bit like a credit card. Now, this one feels like cardboard. If you look closely, the gold border around the card, you can see it's actually misprinted and it's cut on a wonky edge. Now we're going to look at the backplate lock. So if I flip that bag open, usually with authentic Chanel, they normally gold plate everything, including the flathead screws. On this version, they haven't. Now, if we compare this with the authentic version of a backplate lock, as you can see, the position of the Chanel and Paris are back to front on the super fake version. And now, if we look closely at the hardware, the CC hardware, on this classic flap, the CC, the edges are slightly softened, whereas on the super fake version, the CC edges are very sharp and squared off. However, they have managed to get the hallmarking correct here with the 3 lines here. There's a 3 line here. Now, the hallmarking on a CC lock determines the country of origin of where the bag is made. So if you come across a bag with some sort of hallmarking, it means that the bag is made in France. So let's check this on the classic flap. So if we open it up, this bag should be made in France. Now, if we look at the super fake version, this should say made in France too. However, when you look inside, it says made in Italy. And then upon close inspection, the made in Italy stamping is actually too large. The font is too large. So to summarise, the key things to look out for are things like the font and type on a serial sticker, pay attention to the hardware, look at the interlace detail on the chain strap, and pay attention to the leather and quilting. Even super fake bags miss out on all the finer details. Even though this is a well-made bag, they will get what seems like a minor detail very wrong. I hope we have shown you some useful information from which you can build your knowledge from. Thank you for watching. Please visit our website vintageheirloom.com for vintage Chanel and other products and informative guides and blogs. Thank you.